Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my friends on the Earthship. Welcome to my Alchemy podcast, where you can just stop in each Sunday. It's free. Welcome. I'm Cindy Carter. I'm an intuitive, an artist, an energy healer, and a spirit consultant. This series of Alchemy podcasts each Sunday is for the continuing understanding of ourselves as the Master Alchemist of our own life. Like last week's podcast was called The Winds of Truth, where we explored what is the truth, and I kind of expressed where I believe that all truths are singular within each human as a perception. And this is a high understanding that no one is really wrong on an earth. No one is really right on an earth. It's just how it's playing out in this duality. They are playing out a truth of their multidimensionality. And that truth can be accepted by another person without hate or without ridicule. That's the truth of others is not the same as a collective truth. That the truth of you is maybe not the same as a collective truth. And it's not always matching in our own display of the truth and our healing of the traumas that change our perceptions. You might go back to that one. It was pretty powerful. So today, we're talking about sovereignty. You know, when you start speaking your truth, you start allowing others to speak your truth, you really are standing in more of a sacred sovereignty space. And now I'm not talking about the sovereign human that a few people know about. There are a lot of people on the earth that choose to be free of government rule and live by these natural laws, and they call themselves sovereigns. Well, many of these people have gotten themselves in a little bit of trouble with the Matrix because they've taken on this like rogue assignment to be against the Matrix right now, and against the government laws of all the abuse and tyranny over all the people. It's not that they're against it so much, is that they choose to like actively, energetically oppose it instead of just becoming neutral, not exposed, not hampered, not trailed, not influenced. I'm not denying that these atrocities or these abuses happen, but compassion and love bring us to living by a natural law while living on a planet that does have a matrix. And you do have to pay taxes. But if you choose not to, you might just be creating some hell for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Because we need to become in tune with our own being and allow ourselves not to fight for everything that we do. It's an energy depleter to fight for everything we do, but to allow ourselves to be sovereign in our thoughts and our ideas. It doesn't require you to fight. It just requires you to love, to be in what it is you feel. But many have forgotten this. But this is how tyranny on a planet is dismantled. A sovereign being on this earth is one that's living in their highest possibility, from the highest place of their personality, and aligning all the facets of all their multidimensions and all their personas, every one of them that go with it, all the versions of you that are being expressed here on the earth, brought to a central location. These expressions do not have to be, pristine, or perfect, or angelic. My God, you're in a body. You're in a human body on an earth. There's issues. It just has to be harmonized. Non-judged, just real. Forgiven and loved within us. Within our mind, within our emotional body. It's alignment. This is a human in a body that's witnessing its own light. And that's really its only mission here. So how sovereign are the expressions or the actions or your expressions or your actions? Harmonically and compassionately, that is. I could say that, most of us have some, place that we are not in our central location. pulled off to the side to express some part of ourself that I don't know where that came from. But right now it's being expressed because of this purge that we're all going through. But I mean, we did come to an earth to express ourselves and to be witness of ourself and all its rays and all its flavors. Like, what version of you really likes baked goods? Maybe even chocolate eclairs. With the kind with creme fraiche in it. So good. But this version of yourself that wants to eat these like every day, and you're a human, you could, and you would if you were given the opportunity, maybe. Well, that's kind of a bit of self-sabotage. That's the rogue idea. It's kind of a wonky desire where we're not in a state of comfort eating this beautiful thing called a chocolate eclair. We're actually seeking comfort in the chocolate eclair. Desire. It can really get out of hand at times in this sovereign action thing, because, maybe one eclair a month, I might have one eclair a year, but really I love them, but not several times a week. That's repeated sabotage. This is about the degree, not about the thing that you're doing. It's about the degree of the thing. This is about the percentage of the thing. This is about how much of the thing are you allowing all these beings that you've been before, these versions of yourself that came through the recycling bin of time, to be given airtime in your body. How much are you allowing the glutton, the bored, the judgmental, the fighter, the manipulator, the self-loathing? You see, there's nothing wrong with chocolate. There's nothing wrong with a little gluttony. There's nothing wrong with eating one every day of your life if that's your choice. But what would sovereignty as a choice make? Sovereign individual would choose to eat this chocolate eclair and accept and allow its beauty into its life. Not break their diet with a chocolate eclair and then hate themselves afterwards for 3 days. That's not going on in this temple of sovereignty. It's this sacred place inside you that holds this most sacred portion of your being, where the creation and the remembrance and the connection to all things, God, source, and all things, here in this interior temple. I'm calling it a temple. It's not religion. It's where you bring your consciousness, not in the distractions and misaligned thoughts and perceptions that, they pull us away from our sacred harmonic. We become, away from our non-judgmental witness of ourself and our non-judgment of others. Can we bring that back? Can we access the temple again? The temple of sovereignty on an earth where we don't take sides and we don't group ourselves. We can be part of a group as a sovereign, and what a powerful group that is. We help each other, lift each other up with the strength of our compassion, our boundaries of our knowing. This temple of sovereignty is like providing a conscious space for yourself that's free of distraction, free of mental pulls and emotional tears away from your life. Providing the idea of a temple, it's kind of nice to do for yourself. It'd be compassionate to have the ability to have a temple, to be witness to the temple. This isn't religion, silly. It's structure. It's importance. It's housed consciousness within a body, mind, and soul. It's the triad of life in the temple. This triangle. Remember, I'm always going to go to symbols because this is alchemy. Today I'm really going into symbols because I had a lady friend on Facebook who's a master alchemist, true alchemist. She works with all types of consciousness. Her name is Evelyn, and she lives in Amsterdam. Finland. Well, yeah, Amsterdam. Anyway, she reminds me of this ancient alchemy just recently. She reminded me of this sacred alchemist process called antimony. And she was telling me about, and this was just in a Facebook post, a doctor long ago used this symbol called a triskelion. And I may be saying that wrong, but it looks like an ancient Celtic symbol. But he used this triskelion to assist a patient with asthma, using it to, like it's like a triad of spirals connected to each other, and it had the energy of sulfur, which was helpful, with asthma. And this symbol, this creation of intention in the right atmosphere, is basically, in a spiritual sense, the tempering of the self. It went right along with my understanding of sovereignty. That this antimony is the cleaner of the light of the body from its suffering. And antimony is like the intelligent consciousness that goes where the body is suffering. It cleanses and cleans. So say gold has a certain frequency, has a certain essence. It's like gold is the source of God, God's source. It's in all things in your body. But if you have suffering, antimony can cleanse the light within you as a reminder to the catalyst to remember that you are divine. You are sovereign. Remember? You can make a sovereign choice. You can make a divine choice. This is where the temple comes in, filled with this energy of antimony, where the self can witness itself, clean itself, until it's shining bright. Gold is pretty much your inherent light. But antimony will clean the lens so you can shine it brighter. The housing around you will shine brighter. The cells will shine brighter. Antimony is considered like the metal of man. It can be a remedy for the entire organism of man. I believe antimony to be compassionate healing within the body. So what does all that have to do with sacred sovereignty? I feel sovereignty is antimony. Sovereignty is like the ideal human in its compassion, in its lovingness, in its non-triggered, solid, creative, joyful being, where it's willing to witness its out-of-alignment phases in a compassionate place, willing to witness others in their display of ugliness. We all have it. We're all human. But displaying it, through the eyes of your sovereignty, through the temple of your being, in a joyful, creative, compassionate way. You can help yourself and a lot of people this way. The antimony person is actually the ideal person. It's really the balance between mind and body and spirit. And it perfectly collaborates with that harmonious want of our universal wish, to be heaven on earth. The phrase, he lives with his head in the clouds and the feet on the earth. Well, that's a great Talking Heads song, by the way. Nothing's wrong, I have light in my eyes. Antimony or sovereignty makes the cosmic creative flow through the body. This is where we become confident and allow new ideas into the cellular body. Sovereignty is where we understand we're the life force, we're the ultimate God source, activated and aligned with the universe and all the beings in it as a sovereign unity. The universal right of sovereignty is about determination, consciousness, and happy and free. The spirit within you constantly reminds you of this. You may not be listening. When something doesn't go your way, it could be a major life change and you don't like it. Your spirit's trying to remind you of something. Step back. Let the antimony cleanse you. The spirit of your being. Let yourself witness yourself while going through whatever it is you're going through. You know, there are these perfect attributes of humanness. But when you display your monster, just go ahead and bring it into the sovereign temple. Cosmic antimony. There's no judgment there. You can be the monster that we're gonna be the monster at times. You're not living in an ashram. Come on. You might be making cupcakes for somebody's lunch tomorrow. Trying to figure out antimony in your life while you're making dinner for everybody else. This is about sovereignty. In your spirit, how much alignment are you going to allow in your life? This is where the magic comes in from the temple. This is where the universe can match your energy. This is where you get to assist yourself into alignment with the unknown wonders, the ultimate realities that you don't even know about until now. In a sovereign thought and a sovereign action that allows you the boundary to love and to express love even to those that are hating on you. To allow yourself the boundary to allow them their expression while you're well within your antimony, well within your ultimate self, well within the temple of your sovereign self, which is your body, your mind. That's your temple. The balance of the human, the balance of the life within a controlled and manipulated matrix during a purging of the extreme duality from within us, that duality needs to get out. All of us are experiencing this purging and the shakeup of our ancestral lines, of our stuck beliefs and our patterns that really no longer serve us. It's about energy and vibration and frequency. You're rising, and you don't even know it. No wonder stuff's falling away. No wonder stuff's changing and folding on itself. Are you willing to move into sovereign thought? Sovereign ideas? Like bringing the power of compassion right into your energy field, into your known consciousness, to be compassionate with yourself as you make your way through all the ins and outs of all these crazy influences that half of them are like scripted? You're going to figure it out soon. All the rituals that are based in manipulation of your intentions, let's be compassionate with ourselves as we wake up from this duality dream. And we might need to pull away from making some of these choices that we used to make and make good and lasting choices that uplift our life in all ways. Not without holding others in high reverence. We're not talking selfish. We're talking self-sovereignty, sacred sovereignty. This is where we have no saviors. If you're waiting on a savior, wow, well, no. You are the savior. That's the secret. There's no waiting, no lines, no atonement, no unworthiness, none of these backward spiraling energies to make our new decisions in a new world. That prevents us from, seeking our day, seeking our way, seeing the light in all things, allowing the sun to shine. Every freaking day in our own world. Because you're in a circus that's kind of hard to navigate right now. But if you want to be witness to the circus, just step into the temple. You don't have to navigate anymore. It's like going to a store and instead of being in the sea of madness, you're like witness to the sea of madness. That's interesting. Sovereignty will shape the way you think, the way you feel about yourself, and about how you feel about others. But remember, this can also be abused. This is not about self-preservation above others. This is compassion for self first, and then ultimate compassion for others. This is high service to all the versions of yourself and to others. It makes an energetic powerhouse filled with the wisdom of cosmic ages, and it's housed within this temple of sacred sovereignty. where we remember that we are the wisdom, that we're the bounty, that we don't have to wait for the energy to be different. The alchemist changes the energy. But guess what? You can't arbitrarily change energy fields without permission from those involved. Ask your higher self. Ask your heart. Ask the other person's higher self. Ooh. Clients do ask me if I can alter another person's choice. I had that today. And my answer is yes, I do have that capability. I do have like the ancient alchemy, energy understanding that I can alter all fields, but no, I'm sorry, I will not. Because each human on this earth was gifted with a choice, even if they're mind-controlled. And it's that human's choice, as they're, all those multidimensional consciousnesses vying for time in a body, it's their body and their mind and their soul. And each human on earth gets to choose how they receive and take in information or energy, especially powerful energy. It's their choice. Please don't ask me to alter a choice of another human. That's not compassionate. I will uplift another if they choose upliftment. But if they do not choose upliftment, I will not alter their energy field, but I will make a very loving, sacred space that they're always willing to step into. It's called the overflow of my own love. So don't ask me to alter the choice of another human. Please don't allow yourself to alter the choices of other humans through your perceptions, through your ideas, through your beliefs. It's not compassionate. Their information set is theirs. You wouldn't want anyone manipulating your soul choices, so let's not do that to anyone else. Your antimony can be assisted along so that you can shine your being, to receive and be unconditional, and to be able to freely trust in this universe. That you don't need any more manipulative surroundings to back your idea of life. Compassion for us first allows us to be sovereign in our expression of others. Like, I'm not willing to accept your trauma and abuse any longer, but I will distance myself from you right now in the name of compassion for myself and my safety. Then if you would like another choice, I am here, cleaned of my energy, cleaned of my trauma, my perceptions. And I can be an open doorway to allow love to flow from and to you, all in the highest and best for both of us. That's the unconditional love of sovereign expression. And antimony strengthens that. So how do I do antimony? Just become sovereign. Become non-judgmental with your family and your friends and your husband and your wife through their choices, even if they're crazy. Even if it means that you're not involved in their life anymore. Everyone gets to make a choice. Please don't hold on to the past choices. Rectify your new life energy in this temple of consciousness. Sacred sovereignty allows us to play in a field without manipulation. Temples of light and temples of sound and temples of wisdom are here for you by stepping into your individual voice of all the beings that you've been here for. You have been so many sacred spaces on this earth. You have been so many sacred spaces in this universe. Let's bring these now to our body, mind, and soul. So speaking of sacred spaces, I have a grace template. It's like an activation, and it's certainly really powerful. It's a little space of time, 10, 15 minutes a day, MP3 downloads of singing bowls in the background and my voice walking you through the building of the template of your grace field. It's very beautiful, very powerful. You can find it on my website. If your intention is to accelerate beyond your current situation, I'm offering a group mentor program as well as a one-on-one mentor program. Quite unique. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We do a Zoom call, and I can share my screen. I can talk to you live, and I can draw and share alchemy right there on the screen live with you. It's been a lot of fun. So may the sacred spaces of all the cosmic alignment within you, let it be so eager that sovereignty is now displayed from you and to you to assist us all. Many blessings.